I'm Ryan Stanley, the social media guy here at iPEC, and I'm fortunate enough today to be interviewing this week's Coach of the Week, Miss Kerri Myers. Welcome, Kerri. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Ryan. It's always a pleasure to come visit you at iPEC, and I'm honored to be Coach of the Week this week.
We love having you. We're just kind of start off telling us a little bit about, your coaching niche, what it is, your company, maybe your website.
Great. Okay. My website is www.ipotentialcoaching.com, and my niche is communications and leadership development coaching. So I work with people who want to expand their communication in their business, in their families, in their relationships, and even with themselves. So I also really like to delve into life purpose coaching as well.
I love it. Very cool. And so obviously you're an iPEC graduate.
I am.
And when did you attend and graduate?
I went to iPEC in Tampa, Florida, and I graduated from Mod 3 in March of 2007, and I became an ELI MP in March of 2008.
Perfect. And so what would you say has been the most rewarding part about becoming a coach?
The most rewarding part about becoming a coach is really getting to know people on a very deep level. It's amazing what we can do in a partnership. So it's so rewarding because people open themselves to me and allow me to see parts of their life that they want to explore that they may have not even witnessed themselves. So it's so rewarding to go and see people growing and changing and really choosing a life of their desire.
Perfect. Kind of bring out the joy that they're always seeking.
The absolute passion.
I love it. And so what would you say surprised you the most about the profession of being a coach?
What surprised me is that it's really easy. And I say easy because the partnership is built on synergy and alliance. So when you're working with a client, it's as if the energy works for you rather than against you. So we're moving from a life of conflict into a life of ease.
Right.
So it just unfolds, and it's very exciting and rewarding. So it's very surprising at how easy it is to accomplish what you truly want to when you get all the other stuff out of the way.
Right. What advice would you give to anyone who's just started out in the coaching business?
It would be to trust the process.
Okay.
To really just show up, bring your energy, use your detached involvement, and really connect with your clients and believe that we have the power to change our lives and our clients have all the answers within.
Perfect. And so why would you recommend iPEC to anyone who's looking to get their CPC?
iPEC is an incredible institution because it really gives you everything that you need, not only to be the greatest coach, but also to build your business. So it really takes you on a journey where you not only experience coaching others, you live through the coaching experience. So on an inner level, you really understand these shifts. You really understand motivation. You understand these skills. You understand how to communicate. So when you are out in your experience, you come from a deep connecting and knowing. So in the coaching partnership, you really can take your clients to the next level. And at iPEC, we really focus on more than just action. A lot of times when we're out in the world and we're hiring a coach, they're really focused on behavior. And when we focus on behavior, that can work, and it works great, but it's not sustainable change. We can also start taking a look at emotional intelligence, and emotions are going to help us change the way that we feel about our world, which will influence our actions. But here at iPEC, we get down to the core thought.
Right.
So we're getting down to belief systems, what we believe, what's holding us back. And when we change our thoughts, what happens is the thought triggers a new emotion. And if we have a new emotion, our actions are going to be different. So that's how we create sustainable change.
Awesome. That's a good reason.
Absolutely.
So who would your dream client be?
My dream client is someone who really loves to explore the inner world and then apply it to the outer world.
Nice.
So there's really these really big changes. They may read books such as Eckhart Tolle or Deepak Chopra, or my favorite book, which is Energy Leadership,
Right.
which we get through the iPEC by Bruce D. Schneider. And really, it's somebody that is ready to take their life to the next level.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Willing to look within, to notice that, as you said earlier, that's where the answers are.
Absolutely. We spend a lot of time moving out into the world and thinking our potential is out there. So if I'm going out into the world and I'm saying, well, I want this new job, our potential is outside of us. But when we really start tapping into who we truly are, we realize that our potential is within, and we have all this space to create whatever we want. And when we create from that inner, the outer just unfolds naturally, and our potential keeps growing and growing. And we're not limited to one goal, right, one job. We can use our potential in all areas of our life.
Awesome. Perfect. What would you say has been the biggest challenge that you've overcome in starting your coaching practice?
The biggest challenge that I overcame was the understanding that there are really no challenges. So a challenge is simply an opportunity to grow further. Right. So if I'm coming up with a challenge, in the iPEC community, know so many coaches that have specific niches. Okay. So if I see a challenge, I can always reach out in the community, and that coach can help me through it. So it's actually quite a relief, because I don't have to know everything about business or everything about anything, because I'm surrounded by people who have expertise, and it just eliminates time immensely. So I can get up and going very quickly.
Nice. The challenge was that there are no challenges.
Absolutely.
Great. And so what type of person do you think makes a good coach?
Well, everybody can be a coach on any level, because coaching comes into the family, comes into the business, it comes into your personal relationships, and actually when you go through iPEC, you learn that we all have our own higher coach. Right. So you can coach yourself and give yourself that inner motivation is really where we want to be. So it's open to anybody who really wants to connect with who they truly are. And ideally, it's really for people who are ready to step out into this new paradigm and be a leader. People are waiting for us.
That's the truth. Now more than ever, right?
Yes.
And so what would you say has been one of your biggest success stories of one of your clients? Like, what's something that just sticks out in your mind as, a story, an adventure that was, taken in front of you for one of your clients?
Well, I was working with a client who, when I showed up in his small business, he was in bankruptcy. And his mind was going in so many different directions. And he was seeking a coach because he wanted to take his business to the next level. His family was falling apart. He was just in a lot of stress. And basically what I discovered was he was in isolation. So he really had no one to speak to. And when we have no one to speak to and we don't have a mirror, our thoughts can take us over. So he was lost in his thought form. So through coaching, what we did was help him to really connect with what his thoughts were saying. So from having that ability to step out of his own way and his own box, he realized that his thought forms weren't serving him, and he had old belief systems that were not carrying him to where he wanted to be. So through coaching, what we did was kind of take his thoughts and put them out on the table. And when he saw the content of his mind, he realized that he had the ability to change his thoughts. So by letting go of his fears of what wasn't working in the past, because he had situations where he had many failed businesses. Right. He was a pure genius and had understanding that he had aspects of himself that were great, but he forgot in that moment. So what happened with coaching was we tapped into what his true passion was. And his true passion was science. And through building his business as an entrepreneur, he had a false belief that he had to take care of everything. So when he let go and began to hire people that had expertise in everything that he needed to surround him, he let go of those thought systems, focused on what he can contribute to the business, and allowed others to surround him. And from there, he moved from a world of isolation into building an anabolic team using the process of energy leadership. And not only did it shift his business life, it absolutely shifted his family life. Because what was happening is he was in isolation at business, and if you're in isolation in one part of your life, it's going to show up in others. So through the coaching, he opened his life to his business, he opened his life to his family. He also started building his social life, and it was all through communication, through him understanding who he was and letting go of who he was no longer. So,
nice.
And now his business is thriving. His family is expanding,
Great.
and it's just been a miracle.
If you could just say one thing to anybody out there in the world who might be watching this, whether it be about coaching or about a philosophy on life, what would it be?
It is that all answers are within each of us, and we're all here for a purpose, and everybody that shows up in your life has meaning and purpose that will help draw out your life purpose so that you can really step into magnificence.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.